Hey Bruce, Danny Webster, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Another night where it's not pretty, but you find a way to bank points. Is that still the positive mindset to have, even though things got tight in the third period there?
Yeah, you know what? This was one of our more, I mean, it might sound funny in a 6-5 complete games, especially offensively. I thought we were the better team most of the night. We gave up the first goal again, but answered right away. And then I thought we took it to Boston and in a lot of different areas. Now, we got some power plays in the second that we could build momentum off, even though I think Hertl got one around the net. We had some good looks, so our guys started feeling a little bit. They're handling the puck. I thought our rush game was good. Probably had at least, 3-4 breakaways, some 2-on-1s. I thought we were moving well through the neutral zone against, the way they were playing. I thought some of their pucks, now Jack's puck had eyes, but I thought a couple of them, they squeaked in, so they weren't high danger kind of where we were these huge breakdowns. So I thought the score was a little more complimentary than the game myself. I'm sure they may feel differently, but that's how I felt as a coach. And that's a good thing. That means we're moving in the right direction. Do we have some things to fix? Of course we do. It's Game 5. It's the middle of October. We'll have things to fix for a while, but I'd like the direction of the game went tonight.
Ken Bolkes in Vegas. You've been behind in every game. 8 times you've erased the deficit. Are you kind of getting sick of going behind?
It's not. We're just going to keep emphasizing better starts. Some of that's puck management. God, it's a lot of goals tonight. What was the first goal? That was a shot and a rebound. Yeah, a heavy guy in front. It's a net front battle. Boston's good at that. Can we control the rebound better? Maybe, but there's a lot going on at the front of the net. I think Whitey's engaged in the battle, just loses sight of the puck, their guy finds it. So it's one that barely made it over the goal line. So I don't think it was some massive breakdown. It was a little bit what Boston does, give them credit for the type of goals they scored. I think the other one went in off our guy from the point. That's a fortunate one. So I like that we bounced back right away. At least we weren't trailing after the first period. I think it was 2-2, correct? So that's a positive. It didn't take us as long to get to our game. We got to our game quicker tonight, and I think I addressed that this morning. That's how we need to turn the corner on some of these starts, just get into our game quicker.
Paulo Dos Santos, NHL.com. Bruce, just when it comes to that second goal, to get that goal from Cole Reinhardt off a shot by Ben Hutton, it just seemed like that seemed to be the key you needed to go into an intermission tied. Just how big is it for Cole to get that goal, and also for Ben to kind of just like shoot one on net and kind of just get a rebound and do it well?
We worked at that length in Calgary on Monday when we were up there. We felt it in Seattle and San Jose. We're looking at analytics. We don't have very many ozone slot recoveries, and that's a good way to get second chances. You get a goalie maybe moving, be harder, win the slot battle, offensively. So good for, Cole for being there, and good for Ben for having a shot mentality. There's, same as our first goal, maybe a rebound that they could have controlled better, but there we are to pounce on it, right? So one went each way. Happy to see us get some of those tonight. We got to build that into our offensive game. So it's also important how you score in different ways, right? We know we're a good rush team. We scored some goals in the rush, but some forecheck goals like Korzak's the other night in Calgary, this one tonight, I think are important to build our offense.
The last two, Willie, then Taylor.
Bruce, Willie Ramirez for the Hockey News. Tomas mentioned about growing to playing 60 full minutes. Whitey sort of countered that may not want to do that too quick, too early in the season. Can you give me your take on getting to 60 minutes of full hockey and when you want to see your team doing that?
Well, I want to see it listen, I'm a coach. I'd love to see it every night, right? But it's not possible. You want to see it most importantly like March, April, May, June. That's when if you're ramping up. I don't know. There's probably data where teams have limped into the playoffs and done well too. I don't know. It depends on their situation, if they're comfortable going in. I don't know all that, but it's early to be at the top of your game. Whitey is right. No one peaks probably doesn't peak in October. It's just real hard to do that. We don't expect to do that. Longer pockets of good hockey, right? That's how I'm looking at it as a coach. And tonight, Calgary were not good in the first period for the most part. Tonight, they score first, but we were decent in the first period, and we got better as the game went along. And I think that's the important part, get better as the game went along, get to your game quicker. So he has a valid point. I don't know, Willie, exactly the time frame when you should be on top of your game. As I said, a coach, the quicker it comes together, the easier it'll be for your regular season. That much I know. Will that translate into the playoffs? You would hope so, but some of that is health and a little bit of puck luck too that goes into some of those things. Why you do well in playoffs one year and maybe not the next, but we'll keep focusing on getting to our game every day. We kind of identify areas. Let's identity areas first. To me, that's the slot battle. We'll talk about that. And then building your game as you go. Some of your offensive pieces, adjustments you may have to go through during the year. But right now, we're a long way from that. We're just trying to be true to our identity longer every night, and we'll worry about the next part.
Bruce, still early, but Boston comes into this one with a perfect penalty kill so far this season. Your group breaks through that. What sticks out to you about how special teams was able to execute tonight?
Yeah, we were good on, like, before the, the 5-on-3, Pav had some good looks, right? And I think Hertl's goal was 5-on-4, if I'm not mistaken. So we got that play to Pav from Stone. They're executing that well. We've hit it a number of times this year. I think he rung one off the post, hit the goalie's back. Another good save by Swayman on it where we get the rebound. We got a couple into Hertl, so we're using different options. Jack had a few elbow shots to keep people honest. So our power play has been relatively sharp this year, most nights. And some of that is chemistry of the four guys that were together. Now you add Mitch, who's naturally good at it. So, and then the PK, a little bit of a breakdown on the initial push down. Before the puck got rotated over to Pasternak, I think we overcommitted on that side. So we'll address that, and we left our forward kind of, he had a tough 2-on-1 at the top, and just slide it over to Pasternak. He changes his shooting angle as well as anybody in the league. Trust me, I know, I've had him for a long time. And he finds a way to score goals from a lot of different places. So that's one you got to tip your hat to them. We'll address it. After that, we get a shorty. So we basically come out even on the PK. I thought that was a huge goal for us. And I thought our other PK situations were good. So positive special teams tonight for sure.
What stood out to you about all the different ways your team generated offense tonight?
Yeah, I think after a little slower start, I think the offensive was really good. We finally got to the more net, find some goals, but obviously we've been talking about a lot. Even last year, we have a couple of great leads, and we should then put away and we get Boston back in action. It just can happen, We're such a good team to do it, but we have to keep learning from them. But I think, it was our better game offensively.
What is this team's identity? Can you pinpoint it 5 games in, or is it still an evolving thing?
I think we still involved. We know what we're supposed to do. I think we show over last year and a half when I'm here. We're great forecheck team. When every time tonight we forecheck the team, they have such a trouble. They super us and we hold the pucks and make it play in our zone. And I think defensively structure obviously. We give up a couple of easy goals, but we didn't give them over the 5 games many chances, and we have to just keep building it because this team is really good defensively and everything from that open offensively.
I know it's early, but does it feel different than like last year's team, the way this team wants to play?
I think it's early. I think obviously we have a couple of different players, but I think. Systematically, this is the team. I think the structurally pretty similar, but obviously we have a little different players. But I think, still we're looking for full 60-minute games. Like again today we have a little slower start, but we have to just keep working on it. It's still early, but hopefully we find a way to have better starts.
What happened on that breakaway when you headed towards the goal?
Yeah, I know. Coach say go to the net, so I got to the net. No, I lost edge. I try to make him move, and last second I just lost on the left side edge, and it's tough break, because not just I can kind of score, put it away, but you got penalty. It's tough luck, but sometimes it's happened. But obviously I should do a little better, but but I just lost full edge and run the goalie, so hopefully next time I maybe score a goal.
On your goal, you just crashed in a little bit when it came to Pav's shot, and you just kind of poked it in. Just what happened on our goal, and just kind of did you just get enough of it just to get it past the skate there?
Yeah, it's just we've been talking about because we didn't score many goals so far this year, early, and when you look around the league, it's all around the net, and obviously you have some chances you try score some goals, but eventually you got some good lucks, if you get to the net and find some rebounds, and I wasn't even sure. I just I was actually surprised Pav missed that because he's always scoring that goals now. But no, I just try get to the net, fight it, and end up in the net, and obviously happy for that because power play again some good looks, but we keep working on it so the power play can change game for us.
How would you sum that one up?
Obviously, you don't want it to be that close, giving up a 6-3 lead, but that's hockey and that's life. And I thought we dealt with it, pretty well. Buckled in a little bit and hunkered down, which is obviously good to see. You want to come out of those, winning 6-3 or 7-3, whatever it is. But no, excited for the guys, and I think we did a good job in a lot of areas. Obviously, not letting it get to that point is something you want to look at and find out ways to not make that happen. But that's hockey.
We talked a lot about the depth of the forward group coming into the season. What did you see out of the guys up front tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we got 4 lines that can do a lot of damage in various ways, right? Lines. I don't want to specify anyone because everyone has some things that they do really well that other lines, don't necessarily have their identity as, but they can all score and create, I think, problems down low, especially off the rush. And I think we're a good team creating off the rush, especially when we're breaking pucks out well. And I've said it all the time. As long as we get our forwards going with possession out of our own zone, more often than not, they're going to do a great job creating up the ice and managing pucks. And we're a veteran group, right? So knowing when you can make plays and create those scenarios is obviously different than forcing a lot of those things. And I think we know the difference between the two.
Tomas talked about getting closer to playing a full 60 minutes. How close, in your eyes, is this team to putting together 60 minutes of full hockey?
Honest answer, I don't think we're that close. I think, we've come out with wins where, we've had to push pretty hard down the stretch, right? And I don't think you truly want to be saying you're playing full 60, and I don't think anyone does for quite a while throughout the season. And that's not just to stay humble. That's not a reason just to, say that we're not playing that well and keep thriving forward. Because there are games where you do play 60 minutes and you're trying to find ways where things are going your way, but what exactly is working well for the team that's making it go that way? Is it the other team? Is it the other systems? Is it our system? Is it our execution? Is it our pace? Is it our physicality? Is it our breakouts? Is it our play through the neutral zone, offensive zone, all those things? There's so many little things that go into play, but I think it's just mainly sticking consistently, right? Because other teams are trying to game plan against us as well. So it's really hard to put a full 60 together. You're going to have breakdowns, and more importantly, it's how we're going to work out of those breakdowns that I think excites the group, because some of those things can snowball, right? You can get in those scenarios, and the next thing you're down a goal, you're down 2, all those things, right? And part of that's being an older group and understanding when those scenarios come and not freaking out and overreacting and stuff like that. So I thought we've done a lot of things really well over the course of the first 4 or 5 games we played. There's little areas that we want to keep working at because we know we can really force our game on other teams and make it hard for other teams to transition, play up the ice, play in our own zone, and just keep chipping away at that stuff.
I know it's early in the season, and hockey this time of year is different, but do you feel like the way this team wants to win is similar to years past, or do you feel like this team is a little different with the changes in personnel? Do you still want to win the same way?
Oh, hell yeah.
In the same fashion, or do you think this team is a little more up and down than you guys have been?
You mean emotionally?
No. I mean, just the style of play.
Oh. No, we've established a culture here. I've been here for, 7 years now? The same culture has been established since I got here. And that's, you're going in to win every single game. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But looking at things that you didn't do so well to try and execute every single night. And the expectation here, and it's no secret to our fans, our city, is we're expected to win. We're not expected to go out and lose a game 4-3 and move on to the next. That's not the way it works here. The drive and hunger to win every single night is there. We feel like we can win in games where we're down 2 goals, 3 goals. The confidence runs up and down this lineup. Coaching staff, general managers, goaltenders, defensemen. Everyone's got that confidence and swagger, and it's a difference between cocky games. When you're in those scenarios, it's almost foolish to think that you can come back sometimes, but understanding what it takes to come back and having been in those scenarios over the past. And we've been in so many different scenarios and big-time moments, and that core group's still here. And I think understanding that when we get in those scenarios, that drives us knowing that we can win and that we should win. And the expectation is there to win, and the execution, guys push each other every single day to make sure that execution is as high as possible. Because it's not always going to be 100%. There's going to be breakdowns, like I said before. The breakdowns and those things can snowball, right? But having that group that's been through those ups and downs, And that's what makes the game fun and exciting, because there are those ups and downs, right? There's shitty times and there's good times. Even throughout games in 20 minutes, right there. There's really bad times for 3 or 4 minutes and it feels like the world's coming down. And then next thing you know, you're buckling down 6-5 game and pulling it out, and now we're in here having fun. And that's hockey, and that's why we play. But we also know that we can win those games, those 6-5 games, or those 4-1 games, down 2-4. Like, we know we can come out of those ones. Now, it's not going to happen every time, but understanding that the things that it takes to, one, not get in that position, but when it does happen, knowing that we have an older group and a group that's experienced to get out of those things is pretty lucky to have.
So, just, when it comes to your special teams play today, got a shorty and one on a power play. Just overall, how big was that special play, considering that it went 6-5?
Yeah, turned out to be huge goals, and nice to get one on the kill again, and also power play for me. Yeah, but yeah, huge.
Seems like that one from Mark was off the crossbar, right place, right time. Was it just?
Yeah, just try to stop at the net. Have a good habits and paid off.
When you're going at that speed, like, how hard is it to really be ready for anything that could happen there, especially if it comes out the crossbar?
I don't know. You just got to stop at the net and then see where it bounces, and it was the right place at the right time.
How would you sum up Mark Stone's play to this point this season?
He's been very good, and especially on the peeper. He's got some lethal pass, and I always seem to find Pav, no matter how covered he is, I feel like. So he's been really good and leading the team so far.
Jack, Mark, and Pavel obviously have been getting the headlines, but it seems as if there's a lot of contributions at spot tonight, obviously with 6 goals. The depth is starting to come through.
Yeah, for sure, which we have been lacking a little bit the first few games. So it's nice, yeah, like you said, the depth to score as well, and nice for Rhino to get a first as a Golden Knight. So yeah, and I think that's one of our strengths as a team, and hopefully we can continue like that.